Good evening and welcome to Redstone Field here in Republic, Pennsylvania, where tonight the final regular season matchup of the 2015 WPIAL football season occurs here on the final edition of the 29th season of CU2's High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Zach Broswell, and joining me tonight is Matthew Hagee, where the Brownsville Falcons on their senior night will be taking on the BURGETTSTOWN Blue Devils in a matchup of two AA Interstate Conference rivals, and a game that has plenty of implications, even though the records may not be the best. Definitely has huge input into how playoffs will start shaping up next week. And Matt, before we can get into tonight's matchup and the series between these two teams, we have to look back at last week, which caused all of those implications that I just mentioned. We'll start with Brownsville. They got their second win of the year in a very good offensive showing against Charleroi.
One of the best offensive showings, I think, in Brownsville recent memory. 61-15 over Charleroi, 60 points. I can't remember the last time Brownsville scored 60 points, but it's impressive. Changes here at Brownsville, and it's showing this year. 2 wins this season, and it's only going to get better from that for them.
Yeah, under new head coach Jason House, who formerly played for the Falcons. Now looking at BURGETTSTOWN, they had a big clash with Derry, who they are now locked in playoff implications with. If BURGETTSTOWN wins this game, they're in, and it's all because of the result they had last week against the Trojans.
You know, Derry, they've been living the season off of miracles. 3 wins within the final minute, and finally BURGETTSTOWN turned the tide on them, and they scored a miracle win of their own. 5 seconds left, they scored and got the extra point to go up 21-20, and right now, if BURGETTSTOWN wins tonight, they are in the playoffs for the first time since 2009.
And what a season that would be, especially for BURGETTSTOWN, coming off a subpar season last year. Brownsville can say the same, but we look back at last season, and the last meeting between these two squads, it occurred at BURGETTSTOWN as, you know, alternative schedule. Now it's at Brownsville, senior night for BURGETTSTOWN last year, and we believe it was their only win of the season. And a big clash, Blue Devils coming out on top.
It was their only win of the season, and for BURGETTSTOWN, it's been a renaissance this year. They've had great quarterback play, great receiver play. They could throw the ball, and last year they won 28-7. But both of these teams much improved from last year. And when we saw this on the schedule at the beginning of the year, what really know what to expect. And now we see this is a playoff implicated game, and it's kind of cool that BURGETTSTOWN pulled out the win last week, because now our game of the week, our last game of the week, we could see a team make the playoffs tonight. We could also see a season ruined.
And I can't say it any better than that. In our final game of the regular season, make sure you stay tuned. One team win and they're in. The other look to continue their rebuilding and get their third win of the season. We'll have kickoff next when we return here on High School Football Game of the Week on CUTV.
The Multimedia Access Center is an open lab where California University students can work on an assignment, attend a workshop, print a document for class, or take advantage of a variety of services such as large format printing, web development, and graphic design. Located in the renovated Natali Student Center across from the student bookstore, the Mac Lab is also your home for OrgSync support and services. For hours of operation or for more information, stop by the Mac Lab, visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
Save Preset 1 for Cal U's best music. More music in the car. More music in the door. More music everywhere. This is 91.9 WCAL Power 92. The home of the Vulcan Nation. Playing Cal U's best music. 91.9 WCAL. WCAL Power 92.
First published in the 1880s, the California Times is the oldest student media at California University. Circulating 3,000 issues weekly on campus and in the surrounding community, the Times' mission is to deliver fair and balanced news to the student population of California University. All students are welcome to be a part of the California Times. Our offices are located in the Natali Student Union. Keep up to date with the Times online at www.caltimes.org, Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Complete news, entertainment, and sports coverage from around the area, region, and nation is found right here on CUTV News Center every Thursday at 5 p.m. with anchors Jennifer Germano, Zach Prosba, entertainment with Mike Mays, and sports with Matt Hagee. Follow us on YouTube, CUTV News Center, and on Twitter, CUTV_PA, for your complete rebroadcast of your Vulcan sports. News Center airs every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Armstrong and Atlantic Broadband.
And welcome back to Redstone Field. We are a few minutes away from kickoff. Brownsville, of course, their marching band performed the national anthem. They also celebrate all the seniors in the marching band, the cheerleading corps, and the football team. Again, I'm Zach Prosba. Joining me tonight is my color analyst, Matt Hagee. And for the final regular season game of CETU's High School Football Game of the Week, it is the BURGETTSTOWN Blue Devils and the Brownsville Falcons. And a few minutes before kickoff, we always, of course, look at the tail of the tape. And Matt, these two teams, they're kind of even, honestly, just their records are a couple of games off.
You're right. They are pretty much even. And these two teams last year when they faced, they were both winless. And you can see the turnaround. BURGETTSTOWN, 4 wins. Brownsville, 2 wins. And that's a lot considering the years that Brownsville's been having. I mean, this has been a huge step in the right direction for the rebuilding. You mentioned about former Brownsville football player Jason House taking over head coaching duties. He's had a great pedigree here at Brownsville, and he right now, it looks like he's got this team moving in the right direction. I mean, heck, 61 points against Charleroi, that's saying a lot. That is really a great performance. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that score. I thought that was a great building block for Brownsville. That was their first time they beat Charleroi in 5 years.
And I think something that's important to say about Coach Jason House and the way he's rebuilt this program, you see right there on the inflatable tunnel that Brownsville's about to emerge from in just a few moments, the Brownsville way. And our director, Gary Smith, of course, attended Brownsville High School, and he was telling us, Coach House was a player here, and he played with such intensity. And there's one play in particular that I think really exemplifies how he wants his players to play, and we heard before the game.
Yeah, when he was playing, he had a great play. There was the opposing team. This was a Saturday afternoon. Brownsville used to play Saturday afternoon games, and they're kicking off, and he's on special teams. He's actually the kicker, and they kicks it off. The guy takes it from the other side of the field, and he just comes and blindside him and knocks him flat on the ground. They had to stop the game because it was just such a big hit, and he knocked out the other player, and that other player was okay, fortunately enough, but you could just tell the intensity he has. And I love that little inflatable thing. You can tell right here, this team, this is Brownsville being reborn, and this is, I'd say 1997, when Brownsville was in AAA, they made it to Three River Stadium only to lose to West Allegheny. We know the power West Allegheny is, and there's excitement in Brownsville again for football, and it started in week 2. They beat Waynesburg 6-0, and I remember talking about that on High School Roundup, saying how excited I was to say Brownsville won a conference game because it was great. It was a huge, and they were competitive, and we'll see later on. You'll take a look at their schedule. They're scoring points. They're staying in games. This is not the Brownsville team of old. This is a new Brownsville team, new uniforms, a new image, and a great image. And Brownsville fans should be excited for the future.
And when we look at the opposing side, BURGETTSTOWN, they've had a renaissance of their own. We mentioned in our open, only 1 win last season. They have 4 already, and if they win tonight, they make the playoffs for the first time since 2009, and it's all because of their passing game. With quarterback Brad McLaughlin, who you see right there, number 1 on your screen. He's one of the captains for the Blue Devils. And I got to say, you mentioned Brownsville's uniforms. Those are nice uniforms that they're wearing right now. Kind of look like a something alternate uniform Penn State might wear. We're both Nittany Lion fans, but BURGETTSTOWN has really revived themselves as well. And early in the year, they looked like they were struggling. Oh, they're not going to be that good again, but they've come on late in the year.
Well, it started with a dominating win over Southmoreland and Charleroi, too. They put 60 on Charleroi. Both of these teams put 60 on Charleroi each, and that's saying a lot. And BURGETTSTOWN to go on the road. And that kind of opened my eyes. 1, because I picked Charleroi in the game, but 2, it's like, wow, BURGETTSTOWN put up 60. And then they have a Saturday homecoming game against Southmoreland, beat them 30-10, and that kind of started to spark because Southmoreland, when they played Southmoreland, they were in the playoffs, and then last week's miracle win over Derry, facing a 3rd and 17 on their last drive, and then would score with 5 seconds, and you can see this is a great matchup. This is a great matchup for 2 teams that are going to make a name for themselves in the future. It looks like we're going to see Brownsville receive here.
Yeah, Brownsville will receive the kickoff. You look at the interstate standings. Washington, Mount Pleasant, and McGuffey have all clinched. BURGETTSTOWN and Derry are the only teams still alive. If BURGETTSTOWN wins, they're in, like we mentioned. If the Blue Devils lose tonight to the Falcons and Derry wins over Waynesburg, which we believe is likely, then Derry would be in. However, also another instance, Derry could end up as the 3rd seed if McGuffey loses to Washington tonight.
Right. And yeah, that's the thing. If McGuffey, and we think that Wash High is going to beat McGuffey. I mean, that we saw that Wash High team. That team is unbelievable. I was actually talking to one of the BURGETTSTOWN coaches. He said that was one of the best lines he's ever seen. And you can see temperature tonight, no rain, clear skies. It's a little chilly, a little windy, but this is Friday night high school football in October. It's the day before Halloween, and it's our last game ever doing CUTV Game of the Week, and I'm excited for it because we have playoff implications on the line right here for a team, a miracle team, you could say, in BURGETTSTOWN. 1 win away from being back in the WPIAL playoffs. And Brownsville, like I said, a rebirth. Brownsville on the right track. They have 2 wins this season. But heck, there's a lot of pride in this Brownsville team, and we're about to see it be showcased here.
Reed Ryder, number 11 for BURGETTSTOWN, will be kicking the ball away. Back to receive is Trayvon Brown for Brownsville. And the refs are communicating with each other for about a second, and we're about to get planned away. 12 minutes on the clock, just the start of the first quarter. Brownsville in the home black and yellow, BURGETTSTOWN in the visiting white and navy. And Ryder's kick, a little bit of a squib. It'll be fielded about the 32, where the return man goes down. And that is number 87 for the Falcons. That's Mason Kelly, a sophomore receiver.
And that was kind of a strange kick because BURGETTSTOWN kicked it short because they tried to use a bounce, and they almost got it. You saw Kelly there, just had the fall on it, and now we get to see quarterback for the Brownsville Falcons on his senior night, Marcellus Grooms, who we saw last year in the game we did at Brownsville. He had a pretty good game.
Yeah, against Derry, they ended up almost pulling out the win. They were leading at halftime, just fell because of a blocked field goal at the end. Now Grooms on the first play, hands it off. It's going to be a big play. First down yardage and a little bit more. Right about midfield, first down Brownsville.
And that's a good looking run. That's exactly what Brownsville needed to get this going. That was Trayvon Brown, who had a huge game against Charleroi last week. He had a couple touchdowns. Good pusher at the middle there, and he's got some strength carrying the defenders with him, and he's got him 2 yards short of midfield.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line in their own territory. The Falcons line up in an I-form pro set. It's going to be a handoff again to Brown, and he's got a lot of running room again up the middle. He's going to keep plowing, fighting his way. My goodness, look at him move that pile. This is something we've not seen from Brownsville in the 4 years we've been here, man.
There's physicality, and you can just see, like, literally everyone was in that pile. Brown's carrying the defenders, and Brown stands here only 5'8", 155, and he's carrying everyone like a Mack truck through the line right there. And this is his senior night, too. This is Marcellus Groom's senior night. For a lot of Brownsville players, this is their last game in this uniform, and you best believe that they don't want to leave Redstone Field here on senior night without a win.
It'll be 2nd and 1. Just 1 minute into the game, Brownsville moving the ball pretty effectively in the run game. Now Groom's going to pitch it out. Brown will not have the first down. He's going to be taken down in the backfield. Looks like this is going to be about a 5-yard loss, maybe 4-yard loss. We'll call it 3rd and 5 coming up for the Falcons.
And that was Brandon Sell there, number 10 for BURGETTSTOWN, to stop. He was not fooled by that. They tried to use Brown's speed on the left side, but, I mean, they tried to use the speed. He's got a lot of speed, but they had a lot of success running up the middle there, and all they needed was 1 yard. So interesting play call, but a good-looking tackle there by Brandon Sell to drop him for a loss.
And being honest, it looked like Brown was a little tentative going to the outside. When he runs up the middle, he looks a lot more confident with his abilities. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Falcons. And it'll be a handoff to Brown. He goes right into the defensive line of the Blue Devils. So the first drive of the game sees Brownsville move the ball pretty well in their first couple plays, but then get stopped by the Blue Devils.
That was Aaron Bonacci there, number 54 on the stop. And this is what I thought they would do in the last play. This time, BURGETTSTOWN was not fooled this time, and they're going to force Brownsville here to punt from about the 48-yard line of BURGETTSTOWN. So they have a chance here to pin the Blue Devils back deep.
And this is going to be Lucas Ham, a freshman fullback on our roster, back to punt the ball away. BURGETTSTOWN return man is number 10, Brandon Sell. And the punt is away. It's a high one and pretty shallow, but it's going to be fielded by Sell and taken down, upended at the 31-yard line. Blue Devils will start their first drive.
And there's Trayvon Brown making it happen there on special teams. A good-looking play. What you mentioned there, Brad McLaughlin, junior quarterback, he's the guy. He's the guy that brought BURGETTSTOWN back. He put up some good numbers this season, and last week he was the engineer behind that big last-second drive, and he's going to look at his receivers. Jared John, number 22, he's 6'2", and he's the guy that caught that game-winning touchdown pass last week against Derry.
Yeah, and the thing about Burgettstown, they're a very young team. They have some seniors, but they're not some of the important skill players that they have. We have 1st and 10, 9.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Blue Devils in a pistol set. Now they're going to move back to a shotgun. McLaughlin, he's going to run it himself, and he'll go up the middle to about the 37-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of 6 yards on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
And a design run here, and we can see right away that Brad McLaughlin is a dual threat quarterback. He takes it himself. He just right up the middle. That kind of reminds me of Tim Tebow there a little bit. He just takes it, tucks the ball in, and runs up the middle there. But they can get success going up the middle there. That's a 6-yard gain and a good start for the Blue Devils.
McLaughlin and company come back out in shotgun formation again, and 2 receivers, 1 on each side, and a very heavy line. McLaughlin going up the middle again. He hits his own offensive lineman, maybe loses a yard on the play. Looks like they're going to say he got back to the line, though, so it'll be 3rd and 4. But that time, McLaughlin just ran into his own guy.
Yeah, he was trying. I think he was trying to follow the block here. Bonacci, you can see him move, and he's telling him, go forward, get the block. And this time it kind of backfired on the Blue Devils right there. But Burgettstown, I believe, now they're going to start to open up that passing game and go away from the quarterback draws up the middle.
And I just mentioned that not a lot of skill players are seniors, but this offensive line, 4 seniors at least that I can count. Now a pass completed for Burgettstown, a nice tackle, but the receiver gets out of it. He's still going to be running, and Burgettstown will have a first down as he steps out of bounds. That's number 9, Ryan Lounder. He gets to about the 30-yard line. And first down, Burgettstown looked like he was going to be down, but just kept plowing through.
Play to the whistle. That's what you got to do. You're going to see it right here. Ryan Lounder's actually listed as a quarterback on our roster here, but he's got a lot of strength. But right here, you got to make that tackle. You got to wrap him up. And you can see Lounder keeps fighting here, and he just tiptoes his way by the sidelines. If he could keep his balance there, Zach, I'll tell you what, he had a good chance of breaking it.
And if Brownsville had made that tackle, it would have been 4th down, so we would have seen what would happen after that play. 8:12 to go here in the first quarter. McLaughlin going to hand it off now. Brownsville's defense is there to stop the runner for about a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9. That was Cole LaRocca on the run.
And stop there on the play by Tyrese Lewis for the Falcons, but it's the first time we get to see LaRocca. But I'll tell you what, they got their starting back as a junior, and McLaughlin's a junior. You're right. This is a Burgettstown team that's building in the right direction as well, and look to see these guys next year as well.
Yeah, the interstate is always very top-heavy with Washington, Mount Pleasant, Montgomery always usually good. But that 4th spot, if you have a lot of talent, you're pretty sure to claim it most of the time. Now McLaughlin back to throw. He avoids a sack. He'll go down the field, and he'll have a first down, it looks like. So Burgettstown avoiding a lot of Brownsville tackles tonight. Falcons, if they can get these tackles, looks like they're in good position, but McLaughlin there just makes a miss.
I felt like he was going in slow motion there for a sec. You could just see him just not barely move a muscle, just throw guys off, and he was patient. The patience right there got him the first down, and he goes and slides for the first down there. I could see Coach House there on the Brownsville sideline very upset with the tackling efforts on that play. 4 missed tackles on that play. That's just inexcusable, and same thing with that 3rd down play.
Yeah, so basically 5 missed tackles in this drive have kept it going where Burgettstown could have been backed up. Now McLaughlin back to throw. He looks over the middle of the field, and it's almost intercepted. It looks like that was Trayvon Brown. Looks like it may have also tipped off the Burgettstown receiver as well.
Yeah, that was Scott Schmidt, the tight end here. I'll tell you what, if Brown is not here to tip this pass, this is 6 right here, because you see McLaughlin step up in the pocket, and he is wide open if Brown doesn't get his hand on the football there.
A good play by the senior running back / cornerback playing in the defense for the Falcons. 7 minutes even left in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils. Man in motion, and it's an end-around play. Brownsville has some defenders there, and he's upended. That's Brown again on that tackle. It looks like that's going to be a gain of about 3 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
And Brandon Sell there on the end around. Brownsville not full. We're seeing Brown all over the field here. I saw his name on the stats last week, and he is living up to it so far, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. But you mentioned about that 4th seed being up for grabs in the Interstate Conference. Last year, it was Waynesburg that got in. This year, they're 2nd to last in this division.
Yeah, there's always a lot of different parity and turnover in this conference, and now 3rd and 7. You have to wonder, is this 4-down territory? McLaughlin going to roll out and throw. Throws it into the end zone, receiver there, and almost caught. The ball's going to roll down the hill now at Redstone Field, so we'll see when that comes back.
Oh,
what a play that would have been.
That was Lounder again there, but yeah, he jumbled it a couple times. He should have came up with this. McLaughlin put this in a good spot where only he could get the ball. And you can see good coverage as well. That was Devontae Stafford, another senior on the coverage. Good coverage as well, but he had a chance to grab the ball, and that's just a tough area over there. All the woods and the bushes down there. Don't want to get lost into the woods.
And now Reed Ryder will come on for the field goal. It is up, and it is no good. So Burgettstown comes up empty on their first drive as well. Burgettstown will take back over just about the 15-yard line. We'll see where exactly they mark it. That was about a 35-yard field goal, I want to guesstimate. Ryder just pushed it to the left of the uprights, had the distance, just missed it.
He had the distance on it. I thought it was going to be good at first, but it just sailed wide left there. So that's a big stop for Brownsville. Ben, but did not break on the play. Now you get the offense who moved the ball to start in the first drive here, and now they can see if they can give the ball back to Brown and see what he can do.
And I wondered if that was going to be 4-down territory. Burgettstown maybe rethinking their decision to kick it, as now first down play goes nowhere. Back to the line goes Brown. It'll be 2nd and 10. So Brownsville, in warm-ups, we saw them throwing the ball a lot with Marcellus Groom. He looked like he had a good arm. But so far, about 6 straight running plays, and Burgettstown's defensive line started to stand up.
I think Brownsville's just trying to feel Burgettstown out a little bit, see what they're working with, and then open up the passing game. And that'll keep Burgettstown honest as a defense. You can see, because we could see last year, Grooms had a good arm, and we saw him in Warren. He has a good arm right here. But now it's going to be up to Burgettstown to see if they can stop when they go to the air.
Now 2nd and 10. Grooms hands it off to Brown. He'll get about a yard or 2 on this play. We'll bring up 3rd and 8. We'll see now that it's 3rd and distance, does Brownsville open it up and maybe go to the air?
And we'll see. I mean, I'll tell you what, Burgettstown has, after getting decimated by Brown on those first two runs of the game, they've really put a clamp on him, and that's what they needed to do. But I think in 3rd and 8 right here, you have to be a little bit more dynamic and try to get the ball downfield, because punting away, backed up in your own territory, it's going to give the Blue Devils a great field position. And
Brownsville, maybe a weapon they'll use later. Noah Brown, number 80, wide receiver. He's 6'7". I could see him standing on the sideline just because he's so much taller than everybody. See if we find him later. Now Brown on the outside. Looks like he's grabbed from behind. Rolls forward. He'll be about a yard or 2 short of the first down. So we'll bring up 4th and 1. And it looks like the punting unit for Brown's just going to come back out. But watch the fake here being 4th and 1.
And definitely that's a good call on that one. And Brown, decent run there. He almost looked like he rolled off a guy onto the first down there, but it was a decent effort there. 4th and 2. You can see who will punt here. That looks like that will be the same player that will be. I believe that is
number 20, Lucas Ham.
Okay.
Ham back to punt. Low snap. The kick is away. It's a pretty long punt. It's going to travel. It's going to bounce as well. Burgettstown is going to let it go. Brownsville's going to feel it about the 24-yard line, so a good punt from the freshman. Good job, young man, with 3:57 left in the first quarter now. Burgettstown will take back over. As we look at their schedule, Burgettstown, we mentioned, they've come on late, piling up 2 out of the last 3 games with wins, and season high in points, 62 against Charleroi.
That's where it started. Like I said, that's where it started with Charleroi. Then they had a non-conference loss to Elwood City, but then that big homecoming win Saturday against Southmoreland. Then they kind of took a bad loss against McGuffey, but then that miracle win against Darius put them in the good spot. They've hung around, and they beat Waynesburg to start off the season, and then they lost to Washington Mount Pleasant, but so has everyone else in the Interstate Conference.
Yeah, Burgettstown controlled their own destiny, and without Jerry Wynn, they are able to make it in now. As Sell takes the handoff, and he is taken down by Trayvon Brown at about the 31-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards. So being 2nd and 3, 3:42 and running left in the first quarter.
And that looked like a better effort on the end around right there, because you could see Sell have a lot more speed that time. He got a better start than the last time where he got wrapped up for a loss, but now it sets up Burgettstown in a manageable 2nd down.
And something I've noticed now, Brownsville, they're not able to wrap these players up, but they're going for their legs for tackles now, which seems to be working. As McLaughlin takes it, and he'll have a first down just beyond the marker. It'll be 1st and 10, Burgettstown at the 35-yard line.
And for a second, I thought he was a little bit short, but you can see this. You'll see it here on the replay, a last roll here in McLaughlin. You can see him just get pushed ever so slightly to get the first down yardage for the Blue Devils.
3:10 left in the first quarter, so nothing yet on the scoreboard. Usually when we see Brownsville play, somebody has scored. Even last year against Derry, Brownsville scored, I think, on like their first or second drive of the game. Now I see a man in motion for Burgettstown. Brownsville comes on a blitz, and they get the runner down in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 13. What a play by the defense.
Yeah, it looks like that was a Quentin Mapstone, I believe, breaking through. Here's a couple guys there wrapping them. Actually, that's number 33, Amonte Marsh there, junior fullback, who was the first guy in there to get him. I saw a 3 there, but good play, and it's a loss of 3. So they got Burgettstown backed up here in 2nd down.
And I saw Marsh, as soon as that man came in motion, he started moving towards the line, and a hole just opened up, and he ran right through it. Now McLaughlin back to throw on 2nd and long. It's going to be a screen, and it's completed to about the 40-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. That was LaRocca on the completed pass.
And that was indeed Mapstone getting him on the tackle here. But this time, LaRocca, he's got some space here to work with. You can see a good block right there. He blocked Marsh. That was Bonacci there to spring LaRocca to get a couple extra yards here. That was a gain of 8.
1:50 to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils. Both defenses have bent a little bit, but not broken just yet. McLaughlin in shotgun. He'll go back to throw. It's going to be a slant, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Lounder, and that's going to bring out the punt team for Burgettstown for the first time today.
And again, Trayvon Brown here on the coverage, and this is textbook coverage. I mean, not pass interference at all, just good coverage right there. Puts his hands up, no contact really until the ball got there, and that's how you play defense.
And Brown staying behind him the entire time, just got his hand up and knocked the ball away, and it was a little high of Lounder too as well. I think Lounder, I wasn't paying attention to where he was at on the field, but it looked like he probably would have had a first down had he completed that pass. Now Ryder will come on to punt, and it's almost blocked by Brownsville. Ryder does go down, no flag, as Brownsville will let the punt roll to about the 24-yard line, so a decent kick there from Ryder. As now we'll look at Brownsville's schedule. We mentioned they started 1-1 and then 5 straight losses, but that win against Charleroi, it's what you're going to see in the future, we think.
Yes, absolutely. And you can see, look at it, they played Southmoreland pretty tough, and they scored points, McGuffey. And then against Derry, they had a 12-0 lead in that game, and a block punt is the reason why Derry won the game with 2 minutes left. So this Brownsville team is playing competitive, even more competitive. You're not seeing these 70-0 or 60-0 scores anymore.
Exactly. Even when you're holding Washington and Mount Pleasant 42 points, that's still a lot better than some other teams are doing who those teams play. Now, first down. Groom's going to keep it himself. He's going to lose a yard on the play. They'll bring up 2nd and 11, so the quarterback keeper doesn't work. So we have 1:15 left in the first quarter.
This Aaron Bonacci kid is all over the field, number 54 for Burgettstown. He's great on the line as well, playing great defense. But a couple early score updates. This is games involving Tri-County South. We talked about the Black and Blue Bowl. Carmichael's is up 12-0 in the first quarter over Jeff Morgan.
And we all went with Jeff Morgan on High School Roundup because we had thoughts that Carmichael's quarterback, Derek Morgan, would be out of this game. Now, whether Chevy Miller, their backup, is doing really well or not, we won't know until later on, but good for the Mighty Mikes. Whoever wins that game is in the playoffs as well. 2nd and 11 for the Falcons. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Groom's going to throw. He's going deep downfield. He has a receiver there. It's caught. What a play for Brownsville. Deep pass is connected for a first down in Burgettstown territory.
That is exactly the play Brownsville need. That's Tyler Herman. He had a touchdown in last year's game we had here with Derry. He's a junior receiver. Finally, we see the arm of Grooms right there. He puts it in a good spot. And look at the adjustment there by Herman. McLaughlin overruns the ball, and Herman backs up, and he had made a better adjustment to set Brownsville up here in Burgettstown territory. That got the crowd really excited.
28.6 seconds. The clock not running. Usually clock would run after a player got out of bounds and they reset the ball, but it's not running here. So one final play here in the first quarter. It's going to be a run. Brown, he has some room to the outside, and he'll be upended about the 40-yard line. He lost the ball. Let's see where they mark, though. They're going to say this is Burgettstown ball. Now let's see on this replay though. I wasn't sure if Brown was down or not when he lost this ball.
I think he got upended there by Sell. Sell came in at the knees and flipped him on his head, and I think that's where the ball popped out. But this, oh, what a turn of events right here. We're going to see Brown go to the outside here, and you're going to see number 10 on your screen come in and upend him. And yeah,
it
that's
is
out.
a fumble.
Yeah.
So a good play by the Burgettstown defense to get that ball out of there. It's about a 5-yard pickup for Brown, but now Burgettstown has the ball with 22 seconds to go. McLaughlin fakes the handoff. He's got some room, and he'll fall down to the 43-yard line and pick up at 3 yards, or excuse me, the 37-yard line, pick up at 3 yards. And with 10 seconds left, that's likely the final play of the first quarter.
And that's just tough for Brownsville because they had that big completion. The next play, it's a decent run to start, but a great tackle there by Brandon Sell to knock the ball loose. And there's really nothing, Brown. That was a vicious hit, and he just lost the ball there. And Burgettstown sets up here with momentum going into the second quarter.
And we will keep it here, even though it is the end of the first quarter. All knotted up, nothing. It'll be 2nd and 7 with 12 minutes to go when Burgettstown resumes play. And Matt, we've mentioned high school roundup just a little bit so far in the first quarter, and we do the top 3 plays. We don't have the top 3 plays from last week, but we do have our blue ribbon play, which has been going for a couple weeks now. And it looks like it'll probably be the blue ribbon play, top play of the year, unless something happens in this game tonight as you break down this one.
Or even the playoffs in here. This is Fraser Beth Center, game of the year for the Tri-County South Conference. You're going to see right there, Caleb Cox. He's not even a quarterback, finds his receiver, Demond Lovis, who dives in the end zone. It's the final play of the second quarter. This gave Fraser a 14-0 lead, and they ended up winning 21-0 to knock out Beth Center. But watch this honorable mention here. This is in the future of high school. This is junior high. Look at that. I'm not sure if that's Odell Beckham out there or a 6th grader, but this catch is just ridiculous. I've been seeing this play so many times. It's on national news. This is on YouTube, and I'm so happy we got to put this on there. But hey, anyone out there that has highlights of their games, tweet us highlights, and we will put them on our show. And even for playoffs, we do the first 2 rounds of playoffs. We have high school roundup. Tweet us highlights, and we will air them.
And you just mentioned Fraser on that play. They are up 10-0 on California High School right now.
That defense is just too strong.
And now Burgettstown back to action. Got a long run into Brownsville territory for the second time tonight. Marked down at the 47-yard line and a first down for the Blue Devils.
And again, McLaughlin, nothing fancy there. Fakes the handoff to LaRocca and takes it, and look, it follows the block. Good block there. Number 75 for Burgettstown. That's Dalton Green, 6'4", 290. You got a big body there following right behind him, clearing the path. And conference score update. Wash High up 12-0 over 14-0 over McGuffey.
And Mount Pleasant is up 7-0 over Southmoreland. Another intra-conference score update. So now Burgettstown on first down. Another run. LaRocca breaks away from a tackle that would have had to lose a yard. He does get back for a 1-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils.
That's a run right there. LaRocca really has been shut down by Brownsville. That's the guy they've been keying in on there, but McLaughlin looks like he's going to be the bigger weapon on the play. A good-looking tackle there by the Brownsville defender. Couldn't see who it was. But for Burgettstown here, they're really staying away from the passing game except for when they need to on 3rd down. But that extra element, because McLaughlin has that nice tight spiral that he could find his receivers. He throw those darts and get them right to the receivers before the defender gets there.
Shotgun, McLaughlin. He's going to go back to throw. There's going to be a flag, though. We'll see what the call is going to be. Traditionally, this will be a false start, and it will be. So that's going to back up Burgettstown to a 2nd and 14 and out of Brownsville territory at the 49-yard line in Burgettstown territory. So we'll see now what Burgettstown comes out and does as the clock continues to run now with 10:50 to go in the first half.
Those are penalties he can't take because he only got 1 yard out of that last run. Now you're backed up in 2nd and 14 for Burgettstown. One last interstate conference score update at the time. Derry 14-0 over Waynesburg.
And again, that game is very important for if Derry is to win, Burgettstown must win to get in the playoffs. McLaughlin back on shotgun, 2nd and 14, going deep down the field. His receiver, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there by
Herman.
The Brownsville defender. That's Herman, so he catches one, and he deflects one as well.
And he used the sideline as a defender right there, clear the way, and used one hand there. And that's just, I mean, that's great coverage. You see McLaughlin, he's got great time there. Puts it up, and he just gets that hand right there, breaks it up. Almost a great play there by Schmidt.
Looks like that was number 81, Scott Schmidt, like you said. Only 5'11" as a tight end, and Herman is 5'11", so a good size matchup.
Good matchup.
Whereas you look at Trayvon Brown, who's only 5'8", he has a little bit of a disadvantage for Brownsville. Now 3rd and 14, man in motion for Burgettstown. Herman follows him. McLaughlin's going to go throw. He throws it downfield. There's a receiver there. That's Sell. That's going to be interference. There's no flag on this play. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
How can you not call that interference?
And you know what, Zach? I'll tell you why. Face guarding is legal in high school and college right there. Burgettstown fans are not.
My thing, though, is that the Burgettstown receiver looked to have been pushed. We'll see right here. He was hit a little bit. The face guarding was okay, but he was hit a little bit. I think that's why that flag should have been drawn, but it'll bring up 4th down instead.
That was Devontae Stafford, but yeah, the Burgettstown fans were not happy. I don't blame them for that one, but Brownsville, they get the stop they need after the turnover, and hey, they'll take it. I mean, they'll take the advantage right there. They'll take the stop.
Coach House probably knows that was a missed penalty, but they're going to take it. As Riders punt, a deep one, fielded by Stafford at the 20, makes a man miss. He's got a hole up the middle. He's going to keep running and get taken down about the 27-yard line, where Brownsville will start their next drive.
And again, our Twitter right here at CUTV_PA. We all love Twitter here, and we have a lot of great social media platforms that we post a lot. We post our videos that go onto our other social media page, links, and like I said, tweet us at CUTV_PA. Suggest top plays to us if you're watching this game, and send us highlights, and we can get a variety of games and video and high school roundup. And we'll have a lot of highlights for the playoffs in next week. We're gonna have probably up to 4 games.
Yeah, especially if Laurel Highlands makes it our good partners at South Union Township. Will supply us with those highlights, whoever they may draw in the first round. As we have 1st and 10 for the Falcons. And it's going to be a run, and that's going to lose some yardage, a couple of yard loss. It'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Falcons. As that run game, up the middle, it's working. But on those end arounds, it seems that the Falcons are having some troubles.
You're right, and they try to bounce it to the outside there. Burgettstown's been really set. And even after that first run by Brownsville really hasn't had a good run really at all, and that's just adjustments that Burgettstown can make to Brownsville's lines. They can control the line of scrimmage and end up getting those stops and not really giving Brownsville much room to work with.
9.5 minutes left in the first half now. Game has moved along pretty quickly. 2nd and 13 they're calling it. Looks like more like 2nd and 12 though. So Grooms under center, and there's going to be a flag. Looks like this will be a false start. And it is a false start for Brownsville. 5-yard penalty to make it 2nd and 17 for the Falcons. So really putting themselves deep in their own territory now.
That's again, those are penalties that you can't take. Now it becomes 2nd down and 18, and Brownsville, except for that one explosive run, and then they had the big pass as well. But I'd like to see maybe then they can start going back to that passing attack, because we saw there they have an advantage there because Herman flipped McLaughlin around there. If he can go back to Herman and work with him, he can get an advantage and move the ball down the field.
So Brownsville comes out 2nd and 17, 8:54 and running to go in the first quarter. Grooms back to throw. It's a screen. It's batted, and it'll fall incomplete. With 8:45 left in the first half, it'll be 3rd and very long coming up for Brownsville.
And I held my breath there for Grooms because that play was a disaster from the start. 3 guys in his face, and he just got the ball away. That's just credit to Grooms not getting it away before he got the sack right there. But great defense by Burgettstown. That line is definitely taking over the game.
And Burgettstown's defensive line, we don't exactly have who are defensive linemen on the team, as the roster we got from the PPG lists only offensive players. You have to match a lot of the offensive linemen who are about 235, 250 pounds. They're pretty big bodies, especially for high school players, and a lot of them are seniors as well. One of them out there, number 67, Nick Langston, a 6'4", 210 senior, as we have a timeout taken by Brownsville to try and scope out what they want to do on this 3rd and 17 play.
And Zach, some other guys, those are actually 3 defensive linemen who got in there for Grooms. We mentioned Aaron Bonacci, he's a senior, and also Brad Husick as well. He's another senior, and both of those guys are both 5'11", 210, and then also 235 respectively. But right here, Brownsville's still in this game. They're fighting hard. They made some good defensive stops, and you can tell, that's going to give them confidence that we can play with them. We can get this win right here. And you can see how good some great defensive efforts that Brownsville had. Shut out Waynesburg. Only gave up 24 to Southmoreland, 15 to Charleroi. And you can see, you can tell House. Just looking at him, the first shot I saw of him when we got here, I was like, wow, that is a big guy.
He looks like a football coach.
He looks like an old school football player, and the guy that Brownsville needs to get this program. We could even see there's more Brownsville players that have come out this year than compared to other years. This is a bigger team.
Yeah, and I was even thinking that looking at this roster, I cannot remember the last time that I had to flip to a second page for a Brownsville roster. It's good to see that players want to play now for the Falcons. That's always one of the big contributors is what size roster you have. As now Brownsville on 3rd and 17 with 8:45 to go. It's just going to be a handoff. Brown has some room up the middle. Let's see. He got the first down. Oh, my goodness. What a play by Brownsville to pick up that first down yardage at the 39-yard line. Just 1 yard past where they needed to go.
And I don't believe that's Brown. That's actually number 10 on the run, and there's not even a number 10 listed on our roster.
So we'll see who that is later on in the night. But until now, we're going to have to say good job picking up those 17 yards for that first down, give Brownsville new life. So Grooms in the I formation, one receiver split out wide to his left. And there's going to be, let's see if this is going to be offsides or false start. Somebody for Burgettstown did jump, but I think Brownsville may have moved first.
I saw the right tackle there, number 57 for Brownsville. I believe he moved first, and his name is Evan Olesko.
They're calling offsides.
Oh, wow.
So this is going against Burgettstown. So that's a 5-yard penalty. 1st and 5 now with 8:13 to go in the first half. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to see that one again, but like I said, the man lined up against the center for Burgettstown jumped, I think, a little bit after Brownsville moved. So really in our minds, I think at least, as long as you concur with me, it should have been a Brownsville penalty.
Yeah, I saw I saw the right tackle move first, but I wasn't watching Burgettstown's line. So what I saw, but maybe he was forced to move. He was forced to move because Burgettstown jumped.
Now Grooms trying to change the play call a little bit at the line, audibling. And now looks like we're going to have a delay of game on this play against Brownsville. So that just brings the 5 yards back.
Yeah, that looked like a disaster from the start. They looked like they had no idea what was going on out there. And you can see Coach House giving Grooms an earful here because you get 5 yards right there and it goes right back. That's basically nullifies the previous penalty because of the delay of game. They didn't know what was going on.
And something to note here, Brownsville does not have a play clock on their field. So Grooms has to basically have that clock running in his head, and calling out that play may have really messed him up on that one. So it'll be 1st and 10, 7:10 to go in the first quarter. Grooms, handoff, and that'll be about a 3-yard pickup, so bring up 2nd and 7 for the Falcons.
And again, there's that number 10. He's been getting some decent runs there. We still wondering where is Brown here, number 24. But I think I see him on the sideline over there. So I wonder if he I don't want to speculate anything, but it'd be some other reasons why he's on the sideline.
Yeah, maybe a little dinged up. So we'll see if he comes back out on defense. Maybe also just changing out, making him defense only.
Well, he got flipped on his head.
Oh, that's right. So we'll see as this run picks up a couple more yards. So Brownsville gets the 5 yards back. Now it'll be 3rd down, though.
Brown's coming back into the game.
And Brown is coming back in the game. He's running into the huddle now. And on the 3rd and 5, I would not be surprised if he gets the ball in this play.
So we'll see right here. But you know what, Zach? I think we might have an answer to the mystery of who number 10 is. I believe it is DeJour Thomas because he's listed as a tailback, and he's 2 number 6s on this roster that we have.
So now it's going to be a handoff, and that one's going nowhere. No, Brownsville lost the ball. Grooms lost it. So second lost fumble of the night goes to Burgettstown. Brownsville having troubles holding on to the ball. You see Grooms there, number 3, on the turf. You see Grooms, looks like he wanted to keep it and run it himself, but a late decision to do that, and that's what caused that fumble.
Yeah, looked like he tried to option out, and that fumble was recovered by Jared John for Burgettstown here. But that's the second turnover. This is where Burgettstown needs to capitalize here. Brownsville has 2 turnovers, and they're set up on the Brownsville 43-yard line here. They need to get a score right here. They can't just keep not getting taking advantage of Brownsville's turnovers.
5:59 to go in the first half, still scoreless for now. McLaughlin handing off to LaRocca. LaRocca breaks a tackle and he'll gain about 4 yards on that play. He'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Blue Devils. As it looks like LaRocca, honestly, he's not getting a lot of room to run, but he's making some men miss, which ends up with some yardage.
Well, you can see right there, number 52 for Brownsville, Hunter Holman, bursted through the line, but he just ran right by him and broke a tackle. So he got 4 yards. He made something out of nothing. As long as it's going forward, it's a productive play.
McLaughlin hands off to LaRocca again, and he runs into the line. Maybe a 1-yard pickup, 2 at most. Looks like they're only going to call it 1, so it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils here. Now, based on where you're at in the field, do you think this is 4-down territory, Matt?
I think so. I think the way Burgettstown's defense has been playing, I think he definitely is this 4-down territory. Third down and 4 here. This is where you see the Burgettstown put the ball in the hands of Brad McLaughlin. Look for maybe like a quarterback draw if he doesn't go to the air here. I don't see any receivers split out, so it looks like we could see a draw here.
And it's going to go to LaRocca again. He does not get the first down. He'll be a couple yards short. So good job by the Falcon defense after a hole opens up to close back on it. It'll be 4th and 2.
And this was, this time they were trying to go with a counter and not use McLaughlin. 3 runs with LaRocca here. Look at Brownsville pull over here because he had a lane for a second that would have got him enough yards for the first down. That's just good defense here for Brownsville. 4th down and 2, and you best believe Burgettstown's going for it.
Back to the heavy set. LaRocca is in there, as well as number 81 for Burgettstown,
wow,
Scott Schmidt. And now McLaughlin keeps it himself. He has a hole and a first down inside the 30 to the 29. He needed 2. He got about 6. Burgettstown keeps the ball.
Yeah, Burgettstown made it obvious where they were going right there. They put Schmidt and LaRocca right next to McLaughlin. I didn't really see that. 2 sidecars on the same side for McLaughlin there. They just pounded right through the left side and make sure they got enough yards for the first down.
Now 1st and 10, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Blue Devils control the ball at the 29-yard line in Brownsville territory. McLaughlin going to keep it himself again. He has a hole, but he'll be taken down at the 21, an 8-yard pickup. We'll bring up 2nd and 2.
And he was just following Bonacci that time too. But Zach, this is basically student body left, student body right. Look at it, same way. They stacked the line this time on the right side. And this time Bonacci, you can see him breaking free on the screen. He's trying to break it forward there. McLaughlin was 1 tackle breaking away from going to the end zone.
Now 2nd and 2, 3:20 to go in the first half. McLaughlin, he's going to run. He's going to be taken down in the backfield, though. This will be a loss of about 3 yards, so bring up 3rd and 5. And let's see.
He's hurt.
McLaughlin is hurt. He's coming out very slow. Looks like he's grabbing his hips. May have had the air knocked out of him.
That was a hard hit. But again, they're making it obvious what they're going to do. Wherever they stack Schmidt and LaRocca is where they're going, and Brownsville, it was in full that time. They're like, oh, wait, we caught on to it.
Tell you what, that could also be some sort of shoulder. They're looking at his chest elbow area because he landed pretty hard on that left arm. So Burgettstown called a timeout, which based on the safety rules, McLaughlin can come back into the game on the next play because Burgettstown called a timeout, which you would have to assume they would do anyways because 3 minutes, 11 seconds, 3rd and 5, but you don't want to lose your best player.
No, you definitely don't. And Burgettstown's other 2 quarterbacks are Austin Ryan and Ryan Lounder, who is lined up as a receiver here. Looks like McLaughlin's going to stay in the game here, but with 3:11 till halftime, this is kind of, and actually you can see number 7 right there, Ryan Austin. Looks like McLaughlin's sitting out.
Coming out.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw Austin Ryan there, he doesn't look too good either. I know he wants to stay in the game, but he does not look good at all. And I think since it's close to halftime, rest him for the rest of the first half here and reevaluate him in the locker room.
Like I said, it could be elbow, shoulder, maybe got the wind knocked out of him. So we'll see if he comes back. You may not see him again this half, but second half, most likely, if he comes back, you will. You have to wonder, does the offense get shut down in terms of play calling with Austin Ryan in here at quarterback? 3rd and 5. LaRocca on the handoff. He has nowhere to run, and it's going to be no gain on the play, so 4th and 5 upcoming. McLaughlin is ready to go back in, and he does, so he shook off whatever was bothering him for that one moment.
And another thing I worried about here, but you're right, they just tried to run, and Brownsville was not having any of that. Credit Lucas Ham there on the tackle, but I worried about a possible concussion because they were kind of doing like the concussion protocol test.
He looked a little dazed.
He looked a little dazed, but so I hope for his health here, but they need him here on this play.
McLaughlin back to throw. Under pressure, but he's got a wide open hole in the left side. If he keeps running and makes some men miss, he's going to have a touchdown, BURGETTSTOWN. 2:31 left in the first half, and Brian McLaughlin sits out a play, comes back in, and runs it about 25 yards out for the score.
I don't think he's dazed anymore, Zach. That was a great run, and this time he just bounced to the left side, and no one was there for Brownsville. He went back to pass. You can see Brownsville push to the right side there, and he just went right around them and had yards, 20 yards in front of him of open space, and he goes into the end zone here. Just gets in at the last second, but it's the score that Burgettstown needed. 2 4th-down conversions on this drive.
Ryder will come on for the extra point with 2:31 left. 6-0 Blue Devils. Extra point is up, and it is good. So Burgettstown, their star quarterback gets hurt, comes back in and runs it about 25 yards in for the first score of the game. 7-0. The conclusion of the second quarter coming up next here on CUTV.
Complete news, entertainment, and sports coverage from around the area, region, and nation is found right here on CUTV News Center every Thursday at 5 p.m. with anchors Jennifer Germano, Zach Prosba, entertainment with Mike Mays, and sports with Matt Hagee. Follow us on YouTube, CUTV News Center, and on Twitter, CUTV_PA, for your complete rebroadcast of your Vulcan sports. News Center airs every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Armstrong and Atlantic Broadband.
And welcome back to Redstone Field. The Burgettstown Blue Devils up 7-0 over the Brownsville Falcons thanks to Brad McLaughlin, that man right there, who looked like he was about ready to lose his lunch and instead put in a score. As now Brownsville fields the squib kick at about the 33-yard line. 2:31 left to play here in the first half.
And Zach, this is just a gutsy play right here. And again, you can see Brownsville's full. They all move to the right side. McLaughlin, with his speed, just bounces it out right here. And just for him to miss a play, he looked pretty dazed on the sideline. But right there, he puts it all together and gets Burgettstown a much-needed touchdown score. And the way this has been going here, those 7 points are enormous for Burgettstown.
Grooms hands it off to Brown. He's got a hole up the middle. Runs it to about the 40. It'll be a pickup of 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Falcons.
And the urgency on this drive for Brownsville is huge because Burgettstown gets the ball in the start the second half right here. They have a chance to extend their lead, and with all the momentum they have here from offense, and they can continue to build and move forward right here. But also McLaughlin stays in the game at defense as well, so he looks like he's okay.
Now Grooms hand off to Brown again. Brown going on the outside. He'll go nowhere. Maybe a yard, if that. Looks like they will give him that yard, though. So it'll be 3rd and 2. 1:47 and running left in the first half. Brownsville needs to convert here.
And a good tackle here. You can see a couple guys. There's Bonacci again, breaks in. But with the tackle right there, he stood up there, but is Schmidt there. And also number 80, Cody Baldwin. And a lot of host of Burgettstown defense. But 3rd and 2 right here for Brownsville. They can't be predictable up the middle right here. They're going to have to try to be to make some creation out of this play to get the 2 yards.
And now going to be a timeout called by Brownsville. Looks like the play clock was running down. I mean, not from what we can tell, but that timeout came in pretty quickly. So Coach House must have known that time was running out on the play clock. So 3rd and 2, 1:21 left in the first half. Matt, what do you call here? Because what it looked like Brownsville was coming out in was a single back formation with another back besides Brown. Maybe an option play there of something, but I don't know if you want to run the ball here. Maybe surprise them and go through the air.
Well, like they did on that other play, and it surprised BURGETTSTOWN. But the last time they tried to do like an option run, it was a complete disaster. Grooms fumbled, and it set up the touchdown for BURGETTSTOWN right here. But it looks like Grooms has a lot of speed. I remember that from last year. He used his legs to get Brownsville down in position and a chance to win that game. So maybe they can see a rollout, kind of like a bootleg, get Grooms there on the outside. But BURGETTSTOWN's been cutting down all the lanes when anytime Brownsville's trying to take it to the left or right side. And for BURGETTSTOWN, it's just stand strong right here. Because and also Brownsville, the way they haven't been moving the ball, they're going to need those timeouts. They only have one.
And now bring out 3rd and 2 for the Falcons. Grooms going to hand it off on an end play. Let's see.
Nope.
Not going to get there. That's DeJour. That is DeJour. I want to say Hall because we've had a DeJour Hall earlier this year. It's DeJour Thomas on that run. It'll bring out 4th down. Looks like Coach House is talking to Grooms. But Grooms will come out, so they will punt the ball away. It looked like he was trying to decide, what do we do on 4th and 1?
Well, I don't think, even with the time running now, I'm surprised BURGETTSTOWN hasn't taken a timeout here to try to get another score. But
I think getting the ball in the second half.
Yeah, they might be content. The way their defense has been playing, why not?
And you also, if McLaughlin is hurt, you don't want to get him any more serious harm. So Ham's punt. Long line drive kick, fielded by Lounder, trying to get to the outside and taken down. A good tackle there by Thomas at about the 37-yard line. 24.9 seconds to go in the first half. Might just see BURGETTSTOWN take a knee.
And while we're before the half here, let's take a look at another one of our social media pages. California University Television on Facebook is our Facebook page. Like us there on CUTV, and we put all our videos, updates with the crew, photos. It's just a great place to keep up with our work and stay involved. Looks like they're going to take a knee right here, not put the McLaughlin at a risk, reevaluate him in the locker room, and give him some rest. And right now, BURGETTSTOWN, their defense has played strong. They got the touchdown they needed. The Blue Devils, right now, 24 minutes away from returning to the playoffs.
And as long as their defense holds, they wouldn't need to score again, as that will end the half as the clock counts down 2-1. So Brownsville on senior night, their defense has held pretty strong, but offense needs to get going. BURGETTSTOWN, they're kind of doing just a little bit better to have that 7-0 lead. When we come back, we'll have the BURGETTSTOWN and Brownsville bands here at halftime on CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week.
The Multimedia Access Center is an open lab where California University students can work on an assignment, attend a workshop, print a document for class, or take advantage of a variety of services such as large format printing, web development, and graphic design. Located in the renovated Natali Student Center across from the student bookstore, the Mac Lab is also your home for OrgSync support and services. For hours of operation or for more information, stop by the Mac Lab, visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
Save Preset 1 for Cal U's best music. More music in the car, more music in the door, more music everywhere. This is 91.9 WCAL Power 92. The home of the Vulcan Nation, playing Cal U's best music. 91.9 WCAL Power 92.
First published in the 1880s, the California Times is the oldest student media at California University. Circulating 3,000 issues weekly on campus and in the surrounding community, the Times' mission is to deliver fair and balanced news to the student population of California University. All students are welcome to be a part of the California Times. Our offices are located in the Natali Student Union. Keep up to date with the Times online at www.caltimes.org, Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Complete news, entertainment, and sports coverage from around the area, region, and nation is found right here on CUTV News Center every Thursday at 5 p.m. with anchors Jennifer Germano, Zach Prosba, entertainment with Mike Mays, and sports with Matt Hagee. Follow us on YouTube, CUTV News Center, and on Twitter, CUTV_PA, for your complete rebroadcast of your Vulcan sports. News Center airs every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Armstrong and Atlantic Broadband.
And welcome back. BURGETTSTOWN up 7-0 over the Brownsville Falcons here at halftime of CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week, the finale of the 29th season of High School Football Game of the Week. Right now, enjoy the sights and sounds of the BURGETTSTOWN Blue Devil Marching Band. Following that, the Brownsville Falcon Band on their senior day. Enjoy, everybody.
Brownsville Area School District proudly presents the 2015-2016 Brownsville Area High School Golden Falcon Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Brad Hemmerman, assisted by senior co-captains Aubrey Goody and Raven Kudis, and Majorette senior co-captains Mikey Foley and Kiki Martin. The band now invites you to sit back, relax, and join in the fun as they present this year's halftime show, The Magic of Disney. The band begins tonight's show with the old Disney classic, The Mickey Mouse March, led on to the field by none other than everyone's favorite mouse, Mickey, played by senior Seth Johnston.
Tell me now so I can come and make up the sign. Don't now shut my connection. Mickey Mouse song.
We now invite you to clap and chant along with the band Go Go Mickey. From the old classic Disney now to the present day Disney multi-Tony award-winning musical Mary Poppins, the band performs and features our majorettes and senior color guard co-captains Aubrey Goody and Raven Kudis with the song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, also featuring senior tenor sax soloist Shane Ziegler. We invite you to sing along with us. band now finishes tonight's show with the most popular Disney song of all time, When You Wish Upon a Star, with senior trumpet duo John Steiner and Justin Stanislaw.
And then there was like New Jersey or somewhere was second. They actually said Washington County had the most deaths due to that in a year's time.
Chocolate before I get on there, because otherwise it's going to be cold by the time I'm done. Dang. Yeah, this is the TV station. And it's something that a lot of communications majors do. It gives practical experience when they're going for a job. I'm actually trying to be on TV. So this is good for me too. No, he can't. Oh, he can. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The high school. You might have heard me announce a few times. Yeah, it's bad. That's awesome. Look at the little mom. That side, I don't think so.
The band thanks you for your support of the performing arts and participation in tonight's show. May all your days.
The Multimedia Access Center is an open lab where California University students can work on an assignment, attend a workshop, print a document for class, or take advantage of a variety of services such as large format printing, web development, and graphic design. Located in the renovated Natali Student Center across from the student bookstore, the Mac Lab is also your home for OrgSync support and services. For hours of operation or for more information, stop by the Mac Lab, visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
Save preset 1 for Cal U's best music. More music in the car, more music in the door, more music everywhere. This is 91.9 WCAL, Power 92. The home of the Vulcan Nation, playing Cal U's best music. 91.9 WCAL. WCAL, Power 92.
First published in the 1880s, the California Times is the oldest student media at California University. Circulating 3,000 issues weekly on campus and in the surrounding community, the Times' mission is to deliver fair and balanced news to the student population of California University. All students are welcome to be a part of the California Times. Our offices are located in the Natali Student Union. Keep up to date with the Times online at www.caltimes.org, Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Complete news, entertainment, and sports coverage from around the area, region, and nation is found right here on CUTV News Center every Thursday at 5 p.m. with anchors Jennifer Germano, Zach Prosba, entertainment with Mike Mays, and sports with Matt Hagee. Follow us on YouTube, CUTV News Center, and on Twitter, CUTV_PA, for your complete rebroadcast of your Vulcan sports. News Center airs every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Armstrong and Atlantic Broadband.
And welcome back to Redstone Field. About a minute and a half until the second half will begin. BURGETTSTOWN up 7-0 thanks to a Brad McLaughlin 24-yard touchdown run after sitting the previous play out, we think because of an injury. But we'll now take a look at the halftime stats and everything really in favor of BURGETTSTOWN. Brownsville's defense is keeping it close. but Burgettstown's offense continues to move the ball a little bit more, and eventually they'll start to pull away.
Well, and that touchdown was huge. The big confidence for the offense because they couldn't finish drives. They missed a field goal, but finally that big run, 2 fourth-down conversions on that drive is what got Burgettstown going. They can establish to run the ball. But this is an interesting thing to look for here is because with McLaughlin, we don't know how
he could be
they
ran
him a lot.
Later.
They ran him a lot, and that was a big part of Burgettstown's offense. If they're going to have to start maybe relying on him throwing the ball some more. But you can see here with the highlights, Brownsville, they can throw it a little bit too. This Marcellus Grooms.
This is their only pass of the game.
And it was a good one. It was a good one. And you can see maybe Brownsville starts to open up the passing game. And this was a big play right here because Brownsville, this was right after the pass because this is Trayvon Brown. He gets flipped on his head, and he missed a couple plays. He even got hit there afterwards too. So he sat out a couple plays, and that really killed Brownsville's offense. They were going a lot with Devontae Stafford, and you can see Grooms there fumble. This is the fumble that will set up this score right here for Burgettstown. McLaughlin, first play back since he was injured. He gets, and look at that, look at all that open space. He got Brownsville to push to the right, and he goes himself and just gets in the end zone. Last second, they go up 7-0, and that's where we stand right now. And Burgettstown, they're going to get the ball first here. This is big. They have a chance to extend their lead, but Brownsville must stop. I mean, they need to stop them. I mean, it's nothing obvious about that. But also, number 10 is not DeJour Thomas. That is Devontae Stafford.
Oh, so we had our number 6s mixed up. So DeJour Thomas is number 6, Devontae Stafford is number 10 tonight, as both were number 6 on our roster. But you have to figure, if Burgettstown scores a touchdown before Brownsville does, again, Burgettstown will probably win. If Brownsville is able to tie it up, this game could come down in the last few minutes. As we're going to see the kick return here, Lounder finds a hole, and he'll be taken down at about the 45-yard line in Burgettstown territory. Great starting field position for the Blue Devils on this drive.
But again, this just goes to the Brownsville tackling. They had him wrapped up back there, and they let Lounder keep going and just plow all the way to the 45-yard line. As I said, Burgettstown up here in great field position. But the way Brownsville's offense has been moving, that's why the stop becomes so important, because Brownsville is not a team that can really move the ball at great speed to come back into the game.
1st and 10, McLaughlin actually going to keep it himself, and no gain there. McLaughlin looked like he might have been hit a little bit late, and I was about to call a flag because I saw the football being thrown on the Brownsville sideline. Thought there was going to be a flag there, but watch this here.
I cringed a little bit when he got hit. Ouch. Like, I saw his head snap back, and I got backed up for a second there, just considering. And it looks like my theory that they wouldn't really run him a lot just went out the window on that first play right there, because it looks like he'll be all right. He might have just got a wind knocked out of him. He's all right.
2nd and 10 for Burgettstown. Man in motion. Now McLaughlin going to keep it himself again. Missed tackles. Now McLaughlin flips forward for a gain of about 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Blue Devils on their first drive.
And that's just nothing fancy here. Just follows his block. He's been going with Bonacci, and that big line that Burgettstown has. He's pushing Brownsville forward, but it's those open field tackles that's what's been keeping them, Burgettstown, from breaking it big right here. So 3rd down and 4. And we see if they could go to the passing game here with McLaughlin out of the shotgun.
And he will indeed throw it, and it's complete on the slant, and it's good enough for a 1st down, about a 6-yard pickup. Actually, they're going to mark him about a yard short of where I thought he went out of bounds, so only a 5-yard pickup, but still a 1st down nonetheless.
And this is Sell right here getting open. We haven't seen a lot of the short screen passes, but when it gets 1st downs right there, I like screen passes like that where they can get them in that out route and hit them for the 1st down.
And now another new set of downs for Burgettstown. 10:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. McLaughlin back to throw again. He fires over his receiver, and it's incomplete to Sell. There in coverage was number 6, DeJour Thomas. And that pass actually just tipped off Sell's hands. Looks like he had it, just couldn't come down with it.
Well, McLaughlin did throw it a little bit high, as well, as you'll see here on the replay, because he had him open. And yeah, that pass is just a little too far and wide there for Sell. And he's only 5'10", so it's not like he's got one of his tall receivers out there. And I have not seen here at all Jacob Shipley, their big receiver who had some good games early on.
McLaughlin back to throw again. He is hit, but tackle is broken. There's going to be a flag on this play. We'll see what this is going to be. Might be a holding, blocking the back of some sort based on where it's thrown, but we'll get the call in just a second. McLaughlin looks like his knee was run into on that play. He is kind of little gimpy coming off. He is grabbing his leg, it looked like. We'll see if that affects him at all as we get the call from the official on this flag.
Oh, he's a warrior for staying out there because he's been taking some big hits.
And it's going to be pass interference on the offense.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. Replay of second down.
You could right there. You could see Schmidt, the tight end, there on the outside. That's what they called it. He was holding Herman, and that's what they called him on there because that was able to let Lounders break free and make the catch to get a couple yards.
And it's actually a 15-yard penalty, not 10. So 2nd and 25 now for Burgettstown. And we've seen them pick up chunks of yards at a time, but never been faced with a situation like this. So we'll see how the Brownsville defense responds now. 10:25 to go in the third quarter. McLaughlin with a man in motion. McLaughlin going to go back and throw it. Now it looks like he might decide to run it himself. He will, and he's tripped up on a good tackle by Marsh. And McLaughlin just gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 25.
And that's a good tackle. That's probably one of the best tackles we've seen all night from Brownsville. You can see Amonte Marsh sticking with the play and realizing he's going to start the run here. And he just waits and wraps him up at the ankles, brings him down, and now 3rd and 25. They said he didn't get a single yard on that play. So now this is a big spot here for the Brownsville defense. They can get that stop needed with one more.
Yeah, because McLaughlin, he actually kind of dove forward just to get back to the line on that play. 3rd and 25, McLaughlin under pressure. He gets the pass away, and there's a missed tackle there. LaRocca, he's still running, and he's still going to plow forward right to midfield at the 50-yard line. Looks like that's going to be about a 9-yard pickup or so, so bring up 4th and 16 for Burgettstown, and the punt unit will come out. McLaughlin very lucky to get that one away.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a disaster because Brownsville broke in. Brownsville brought the blitz. But again, LaRocca able to push the pile forward, break tackles, but that penalty was the killer of that drive because if they're set up on their normal line of scrimmage, that could be a first down. But instead, it's still 4th and 16. Brownsville gets that much-needed stop out of the half.
Ryder comes out the punt and almost blocked by the Falcons. Now we'll see Thomas return the punt. He'll get met immediately and get stopped at the 25-yard line due to forward progress. So Brownsville holds Burgettstown down on their first drive and now comes back out on offense with 8:51 to go in the third.
So the defense did their job, and now it's got to be the offense. But the defense is what's keeping Brownsville in the game. Their offense, they've really not been able to move the ball except for big pass. And another social media platform, this is where all our videos go. If you want to watch this game again, or any other high school games for the past couple of years, Cal football, all our shoots, full broadcast on our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. This is for people out of the area.
Now a run here by Brown. He's going to gain about 3 yards on that carry, bring up 2nd and 7. And yeah, you mentioned YouTube. We actually talked to a few Burgettstown fans and Brownsville fans before the game, asking how they could watch this broadcast, because of course you're going to want to go back and watch it again, especially if you have somebody playing in the game. And we've been able to help out them. And of course, you're from Eastern Pennsylvania. I'm all the way down south in Georgia, so it really helps us.
It helps us. So you can see it anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world on YouTube. That's the great thing about it.
So 2nd and 7 for the Falcons. And Groom's under pressure. He's going to get sacked. Can't throw the ball away. It's going to be hard to tally out the loss on this play. He's back at the 15-yard line. This is going to be 3rd and 20. That's a loss of 13 yards on that sack.
Yeah, that was just, he didn't see him coming from the blind side there. Brian Krynak there, there's nothing he could do. He couldn't throw the ball away. There was 3 Burgettstown players in the Brownsville backfield before Grooms could flip around and see what he was dealing with, but instead he had Burgettstown players in his face. But this is just too strong. Burgettstown's line is just dominating Brownsville. It's just giving Grooms no time when they try to pass. This is why they've been trying to run, because Grooms has no time to pass.
So 3rd and 20. Grooms pitches it out to Trayvon Brown. He's got some room. Let's see if he can run it, and he plows forward. Let's see where they spot the ball.
He got it.
Let's
see.
see.
He got it.
I think he extended
the ball. He extended the ball, and I think that got it.
That's a first down. That's twice now that Brownsville's been faced with 3rd and 18 or longer, and Trayvon Brown has gotten the first down.
Watch the extension. That got it. That extension of the ball right there. That's a risky play because that could have been knocked out. But that extension of the ball, what a play there for Brownsville. And even with the extension, that's still a pretty good spot that Brownsville got. But hey, they'll take it. Huge first down for the Falcons.
And you have to wonder, in that situation, Brownsville, the way their offense has been playing tonight, if you want to get some momentum, would they have gone for it on about 4th and inches? Now it's 1st and 10, 6:58 to go. Trayvon Brown on the handoff. He's going to go up the middle, gain about 4 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6. And Matt, away from this game right now, an update on Game 3 of the World Series. The Royals scored first in the top of the first, but David Wright then hit a 2-run home run, the first ever World Series game at Citi Field.
I mean, it's about time David Wright does a little bit of offense right there, but getting back to this game, speaking of offense is where Brownsville they got him out of that hole they were in after the big sack. They got it back, and they got a good run there. You can see Brown's back into the game. We haven't seen a lot of their other running back. We haven't seen Stafford, who had a couple good runs as well in the first half yet.
Grooms, he's going to throw this time, running out, throws it downfield, and he just throws it to the sideline. So that'll stop the clock at 6:10, bring up 3rd and 6. So I kind of thought maybe Brownsville would throw in that play because they had a couple receivers split out wide. So maybe when Burgettstown could become aware of that, when there's more than just one receiver, they're going to throw. When there's not, and there's only one guy out, they're probably going to run the ball.
Yeah, and that's what they were trying to do right there. But again, Grooms really he got flushed out of the pocket. He had to release the ball, or again, it would have been another big sack. But this is a 3rd and manageable right here. Let's see if they go back to the ground game.
High formation. Grooms thought about pitching it. Now he'll keep it himself and get nowhere. Might have had the first down had he pitched it to Brown. And the defensive end for Burgettstown read the play perfectly.
He really did, and that's what they tried to do. Grooms, that's how he fumbled it the last time, but Burgettstown was not fooled at all on that play. So it's a tough break because they tried to run it, but Grooms has to be more, he has to know what he's going to do and not have a play like that.
4th and 6. And we have a big score update to give you after the change of possession. As you see the punt now, Ham. It's a high pop-up, and it's going to bounce backwards a little bit, fielded at the 41-yard line of Burgettstown's territory. And Matt, that huge score update comes from AAA in the Big Ten Conference, a team looking to seal their playoff fate if they win. And Trinity right now up 10-7 on the Ringgold Rams.
Well, I mean, high school roundup, I picked Trinity because I thought Trinity, they had something to play for. When's the last time they've been in the playoffs? It's been a while. Ringgold, they're locked in. They pretty much have the 2nd seed out of the division locked in.
They are. So they have locked that in.
So they have nothing to play for, and Trinity does.
McLaughlin going to run it himself. Good block to the outside. Now McLaughlin, he doesn't end up with anything, could never move it up the field. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. But Matt, the thing I'm concerned with most is right now in the 3 games that we have different in our pick'em, there's a 3-game difference with us, and you happen to be winning all of them.
That's
this
crazy.
could not happen again in the last year when you come back in time.
It's early. I mean, it's you never know. But I think Bentworth's hanging around as well. They could still take that game for Beth Center. That game was 19-14 at halftime. Observer Report has one of the reporters there, and it's not Anthony Welsh leading the way. It's Frank Drucci with 122 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And we saw him when we went to Beth Center Fraser at Beth Center this year. Is now McLaughlin under some pressure, and he'll just throw it out of bounds to his sideline. There's going to be a late flag here. Looks like this is going to be an unnecessary roughness against Brownsville, against McLaughlin.
Oh, that's going to be a devastating penalty here, but you can see here on our replay here. Bless you, by the way. Yeah, it's again, had it stopped and they had time. They weren't really falling into him or anything like that. That's just, again, penalties you can't take here in this situation when you have chances to stop Burgettstown.
So we have 4:32 left in the 3rd quarter. And this is going to be roughing the passer, it looks like, against Brownsville. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Burgettstown now in Brownsville territory at the 45-yard line. And like I said, if Burgettstown is able to score again, I think this one may well almost be over just the way Burgettstown's defense is playing.
And you're exactly right here. It looks like we're going to see them respot the ball and start the play clock here. But watch Schmidt and LaRocca here. If they try to stack them to one side of the field, and then they'll just probably have McLaughlin take over.
LaRocca on the carry up the middle. He'll gain about 4 yards. About 4:15 left in the third quarter. Burgettstown is trying to run the ball out. I mentioned they don't need to score again as long as their defense plays the way they have.
And as long as they're picking up first downs as well, that's a good run out of LaRocca there. I thought they were going to stack one side of McLaughlin, but LaRocca really hasn't had that big run yet, and he's just waiting to just burst through the Brownsville defense, and he's just waiting back there. He's being patient and getting decent runs.
McLaughlin hands up to LaRocca again. He's tripped up, and he's going to lose about 3 yards on this carry. That's going to bring up, looks like 3rd and 7 they're calling it. So Burgettstown faced in a situation, if they don't get it, they're going to have to punt the ball away again.
And this is Trayvon Brown in here on the stop. He's doing it all for Brownsville. This is, what a great senior night he's having so far with everything he's been doing. Great runs, good special teams tackle, but again, this is a big third down. This is probably the biggest third down for Brownsville right here. They need this stop more than ever.
McLaughlin in a pistol formation. 2 sidecars, both on the same side. McLaughlin going to run up the middle. He'll get nowhere. Get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th and 7. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Brownsville will get the ball back.
Well, Zach, look where they stacked him on the one side. Brownsville knew McLaughlin was going to keep it, and they just stacked the box. Broke into the backfield there, good play. John Pasco there in on the stop for the Falcons, but they weren't fooling anyone there. Those plays are not going to fool anyone, but now Burgettstown has a chance to try to pin the Falcons back deep. But Brownsville also had a good rush on the last punt, so Burgettstown has to be a little careful.
Ryder punts the ball away. It's a high kick, long, and it's going to be fielded by Short Thomas. He gets out of bounds. There's going to be a hit. Referee gets taken out as well on a tackle. So there's also a flag on this play, so we'll see what that call is going to be. Props to the ref, though, for getting back on his feet after he was taken out.
Man, that was tough. I mean, we've been seeing it different times of the games where the refs just get drilled, and that time he got upended. Good thing he didn't blow out a knee or anything. But you could even see some of the Burgettstown players all pointing that there was a block in the back, and this is just going to pin the Falcons back even more here.
And Brownsville's even moving themselves back. I think they know this is a penalty on themselves, as we'll get the official call now from the head ref. And it will be a block in the back against Brownsville. So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It looks like it happened about the 14-yard line. So that could be half the distance to the goal. We'll see where exactly they spot Brownsville on this upcoming play.
And it looks like they're going to be at the 8 or 9 yard line, depending where they're going to put this.
So half the distance. That's not even half the distance, though. Now it is half the distance as they get to the 7-yard line. Brownsville, 93 yards away from a tying score. They need a big play in a hurry. They need something that can get themselves momentum on offense.
They need a play like they did in the first half. You can see Herman split out on the near side of the field. Maybe Grooms, if he can get the time, he can try to go back to him deep.
Grooms hands it off, though. Trayvon Brown running forward to about the 12. He's still going at the 15. That's an 8-yard pickup. It'll bring up 2nd and 2.
And that's just a tough run out of Brown. He's got a lot of power underneath him there, and it gives Brownsville out of a little bit of a hole they were in, but still they have a long ways to go here as we're about to dip under 2 minutes here in the third quarter with all the running that's been going on here. But now, if they can he got 8 yards, they're going to give him 8 yards out of that, so that's a good start for Brownsville. Give him forward progress because he kept his legs churning.
And that's something that can get you momentum as well. Good first down, positive plays. Now Grooms hands off to Brown again. He has the first down and a little bit more to the 20-yard line. A pickup of 5. So I'll stop the clock momentarily at 1:39. But I mentioned good pickups on first down sets you up easier play calling 2nd and 3rd in better situations.
And I'd say for the first time tonight, we're finally seeing Brownsville starting to get a push a little bit on their line, giving Brown enough time to get the first down there. That's a decent start of the drive. 11 yards on the first 2 carries of this drive right here is the momentum they needed, because we saw Brown really had no space to work with or any back for the longest time. And now this is the start that Brownsville needed here, but they got to keep it going.
1:14 left in the third quarter. Brownsville has to make their move soon. As Trayvon Brown gets the handoff again, he gets to the outside. He's got some running room. Shakes around defender. Nice spin move there. It's a first down and a little bit more inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. A great pickup there and a nice circle button move on against Brown.
He's putting the team on his back. I mean, literally. Look at him break these tackles here and this power. Yeah, there's that great spin move. He's carrying guys. He's carrying Ryder as well. He needs 3 guys to take him down. But they're just giving the ball to their senior, and they're letting him say, finish your career out in style. Carry us down the field.
You have to wonder if BURGETTSTOWN may be getting a little tired as this game goes on.
Their offense isn't doing them any favors.
Now handoff up the middle. That'll be about a 2-yard pickup. Referee was hit again on the play. One I saw stumbling out of there. Looks like on that carry was number 15, John Colvin. First time we called his name tonight. He's a freshman. 25 seconds left in the quarter.
And it looks like Brownsville, it looks like they'll run one last play here, depending on what happens if the clock stops. This will be the final play of the third quarter.
Grooms hands off to Brown, up the middle. He's dragging players along with him. He'll gain about 3 yards on this one, so bring out 3rd and 5 in the fourth quarter as the third quarter comes to a conclusion. But as most of our loyal viewers know, we always keep it here between the third and fourth quarter. It's 7-0 BURGETTSTOWN. And Matt, for the final time, you and I on High School Football Game of the Week, we get to look at the hot dog score. In California right now in the lead, 9.80. But we have to give the award this year in our final game.
Wow.
Brownsville takes home the crown at 9.85.
I'll tell you why. And great food. The bandstand has Falcon fries, one of my personal favorite things, with ranch and cheese and bacon. And more importantly, they are selling Brownsville football mugs. I needed a coffee mug, and they're selling them for $10, and you can get refills of coffee or hot chocolate the whole night. That's a great deal. That's what I needed. Here's the CTV hot dog scores. What great stands we did to. Bell Vernon was great. Connellsville, Charleroi. I thought Cal High School had it one with all the selections they had, the quality of the food. Mount Pleasant was great, same with Red Center. Elizabeth Ford, they lost their crown, and Carmichael was very close last week. I thought, oh, that's it for California. But the mugs, I think, is why Brownsville.
These are new
great
addition.
mugs, and these are a new addition. And they knew I needed a coffee mug because I love me some coffee. I have a Keurig, and it's wonderful. It's going to help me go along the way. So congratulations to Brownsville, the 2015 hot dog score champions.
And now we'll get back to action. 3rd and 5, 12 minutes remaining now in the fourth quarter. Whether Brownsville will get their 3rd win of the year or BURGETTSTOWN will make the playoffs for the first time since 2009. 3rd and 5, Grooms in the I formation. Brown is the back. Grooms gonna throw. He goes downfield. He has Herman there. It's incomplete. No flags on the play either, so that's going to send out the punt unit again for Brownsville. Surprised they went with a throw there.
Yeah, and considering what they've been doing on the ground on that drive, but he was close. Herman was close to pulling that in, but that was great coverage there by Ryan Launder. Didn't any contact at all. Launder actually lost sight of the ball, and Herman had for a chance had to go over top of him to get it. He was very close to getting it, but Brownsville oh so close to getting that big play they needed. But now they'll punt it away here and put it in the hands of their defense, who needs another stop. But sooner or later, the offense, they need to get something going right here. That 7-0 couldn't hold up.
Lucas Ham to punt the ball away. And Launder almost loses it. He breaks out of a tackle, and he'll be dragged down at about the 30-yard line. Goodness, I thought Launder was going to lose that ball, and then he pops out of there.
That was crazy. Unbelievable. I thought that was, he was right there. That would have been a great stop. But I thought that ball was going to get punched out for a second. Look at it, he's holding that on his thigh. And it just bounces up into his hands. And luckily for Launder, no one was there other than the one player that hit him who lost his balance then and was able to allow Launder to go downfield.
Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. 11:43 to go in the game. BURGETTSTOWN just a few minutes away from knowing their fate, as Derry was up 20-0 on Waynesburg. Again, if BURGETTSTOWN wins, they're in. If they lose and Derry wins, Derry is in. As McLaughlin keeps it himself, he's got a hole up the middle of the field, and it's a first down and more for Burgettstown. About an 11-yard pickup for the junior quarterback.
And other than his touchdown run, that was probably his other best run right here, because look at the blocking, look at the lane right there that's created, and McLaughlin just plows his way forward. But we've been talking about his Burgettstown defense tired. Brownsville's defense has been on the field a lot in this game. You got to wonder if this is the time where Brownsville gives it to their quarterback, they puts the ball in McLaughlin's hands and lets their line and their quarterback lead them down the field.
McLaughlin on 1st and 10 will keep it himself. He's trying to go to the outside. He's tripped up after a gain of about 3 yards. I'll bring up 2nd and 7. McLaughlin, he's really taking a beating tonight.
He is.
Looks like his knees are probably going to get taken care of after the game. Maybe blow to the chest earlier we saw.
Yeah. But he's sticking it, and he's a tough kid. He's putting it all together, and it's going to be great to see him. He's got another year to lead Burgettstown in. He's part of the revival the Blue Devils had. It was his duties, and now he let him as a leader down the field against Derry, and now he's trying to lead him to the playoffs.
2nd and 7. McLaughlin fakes the handoff. He's trying to get the outside, runs into his own lineman, and loses 2 yards on the play. So that run play, very ineffective, and brings up 3rd and 9.
Well, I was waiting for him to hand it to LaRocca here, but he pulls it out the last second, and you're right. He runs into his block. He ran into Husick there, his center, and that blew the play up.
On that tackle for Brownsville is number 87, Mason Kelly. So 3rd and 9, 10:03 to go in the game. If Burgettstown doesn't get this, you'll have to expect another punt from the foot of Ryder. McLaughlin throws. Sell has it, but a great tackle there by number 28 for the Falcons. That's Lenny Macau, a senior. First time we call his name tonight. No gain, 4th and 9.
And that is textbook. That is what Brownsville needed right there. Macau unblocked. And again, another senior. The seniors for this Brownsville team are playing hard. They got a lot of grit in them. And again, defense did them the favor.
And we are getting word from one of the Brownsville video crew members that are next to us. It's actually Michaud, not Macau. We thank him for that proper pronunciation. We want him to give the senior proper recognition. As Brownsville fumbles the punt, but now makes a return out of it to about the 28-yard line. Maybe about an 8-yard pickup on that one with 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the game.
That was Michelle again there on it, but I held my breath for a second because that almost turned into a disaster. But now Brownsville's defense did the job, and we're going to take a look for a second there, upcoming. So anyway, Zach, one of our next games for not just high school now, we move to Cal football, Gannon and Erie. This is a big game, and Cal, no chance at winning the PSAC West, but they still have a little glimmer of hope alive, and it starts in Erie, and they got to get that win.
Grooms pitches it out to Brown. He's got a hole. Bringing him back inside. He's got a lot of room and about a 9-yard pickup. That'll be 2nd and 1 for the Falcons. Again on 1st down, picking up a lot of yardage.
And Brown, who saw a lot of him on that drive right there, he's starting to really turn off some yards here. They're going to have to keep pounding away with him because when they took the ball out of his hands, the drive stalled. See, they go back to him here. It's 2nd down and 1 to get that 1 yard they need. But I'd like to expect them to go up the middle here because that's where they've had most success tonight. 2
receivers split out. Grooms pitches it out to Brown again. He has some running room, has the 1st down. It looks like, yes, he does. They'll give it to him. 1st and 10 coming up for the Falcons. 8:24 to go.
And they tried to run a pitch there, and you're right, just got the 1st down there, just barely, because they did the pitch. And it was really close to even being stopped in the backfield, but that's what they needed to do right there. It was a pitch, not up the middle, but more importantly, it moves the chains.
Grooms hands it off. Now up the middle is Devontae Stafford for a gain of about 4 yards. They'll bring up 2nd and 6. So Browns are really starting to churn away some yardage here in the run game. Be aware, though, you have to wonder, when does the pass come back in for Brownsville? If you get everybody coming up for the run, do you take your shot deep?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to have to soon, but now we got 7:48 left. That was Stafford's first carry. But remember in last year's game we were here, Brownsville had a long drive that culminated 7 minutes here.
Grooms fakes a handoff. Now he throws it, and it's complete. It's a first down. So as I just said, when does the pass come in? It does there. Grooms, though, a good job of shaking off a would-be sack.
Yeah, and he had John Pasco, his fullback there, who was uncovered. And I thought for a second this was going to be another disaster. You can see there that Bonacci broke in, and Grooms, good job of standing in the pocket there, making the throw. He almost threw it over Pasco's head, but it's a first down, and now here come the Falcons at the BURGETTSTOWN territory.
43-yard line in Blue Devil territory are the Falcons. Grooms fakes the handoff now. He has to keep it himself, gets about a 1-yard loss on the play. Looked like he was trying to pitch it out, but there was a man right there, and if he pitched it, looked like he could have been batted back for a fumble, and then all kinds of craziness would have broken loose.
And Brownsville, that option has not been working for him. Anytime they've tried to have Grooms bounce out and do a pitch, BURGETTSTOWN's been in the backfield waiting for it, and this is where you see if Brown gets involved again here with a carry.
2 receivers, 1 on each side. I formation, Grooms. There's going to be offsides. Looks like, we'll see though, was he drawn? This is going against BURGETTSTOWN. I just saw a ref call it, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. So basically, that 1-yard loss turns into a gain for Brownsville in their first play.
And it makes it a 2nd down 11 to a 2nd down and 6. Second time in this game, BURGETTSTOWN's been offsides. And it only helps the Falcons move even closer because they have a good stop on first down, and now they just give them an extra 5 yards.
Now a trio of backs in the backfield. It's going to be a wild play here. Herman has it. He's still running. Gains maybe a yard on that play. So bring up 3rd and 5. And now Matt, based on where Brownsville is, do you go for it on 4th down?
Absolutely. And the way their defense has been playing, absolutely. They're moving. They're about at the BURGETTSTOWN 38-yard line. I mean, if they try to punt it, they'd probably kick it in the end zone. It'd basically be turn into an 18-yard punt. But I think the way, and especially there could be the way BURGETTSTOWN could run the ball, they could run, as we're under 6 minutes here, they could run that clock out on one drive.
Grooms under center, I formation, 2 receivers. Grooms gonna hand it off to Brown. Brown going up. Let's see where he goes. He gained maybe a yard on that play. That's gonna bring up 4th and 4. And Coach Jason House is talking to Grooms right now. We'll see. Does he stay on the field or does he come out?
I think you have to because you run the, like I said, you run the risk if BURGETTSTOWN has a chance to run this clock down under 5.5 minutes, and it looks like Grooms is coming right back out here. So this is the right call. They'll give him 2 yards here, so it's 4th and 3. Play the game right here. This could
decide it.
This really could decide it.
Brownsville could be their last real shot. Need 3 yards to keep the drive going. 5:08 left. Grooms under center, I formation, 1 receiver. Grooms fakes the handoff. Now Grooms gonna run it himself. Let's see where he gets to. He's gonna be short. Gain maybe a yard on the play. BURGETTSTOWN will take over.
And that was oh so close. Grooms, I thought he was going to get dropped in the backfield there, but good credit to him for keeping the play going. He's going to be stopped a yard short, but it could have been a disaster right there. Tried his ever so best to get forward, but BURGETTSTOWN's defense, as they've been doing all night, stands tall and gives their offense a chance with 4:57 left here in this ball game to run it out and return to the playoffs.
And Brownsville right now, their defense, this is where you expect the turnover to come. And if you're Coach Jason House, I think you do everything to try and knock the ball out on a fumble, interception of some kind. You'll probably just see a few run plays here from McLaughlin and company. 4:57 to go in the 4th quarter. McLaughlin going to run it himself up the middle. He'll gain maybe 3 yards on that play, so we'll bring up 2nd and 7.
And a score here in the Interstate Conference. Wash High up 35-0 over McGuffey. So it looks like Wash High's got a clear path here. They're going in. Beth Center up 26-14 over Bentworth. So Bentworth, a lot of expectations for him in this game. But right now it looks like Beth Center has not lost to a Tri-County South team not named Frazier in 6 years.
And if Beth Center wins, they would clinch a home playoff game in the first round. Bentworth would do the same if they won. Now McLaughlin, he's going back to throw. He's going downfield. There's a receiver wide open. The defender fell down. That is Lounder. He's got some room, makes a man miss, but Trayvon Brown trips him up at the 15-yard line. And Brownsville's defender just slipped on that play. Had he not, could have been a possible deflection if the defender had stuck with Lounder.
Yeah, that is going to be on Tyrese Lewis. Is going to have nightmares about this one, slipping down and lets Lounder wide open here. And Trayvon Brown makes the stop here, saving what it would have been pretty much a game-clinching touchdown. And for Burgettstown, that's the play they needed right there. But Brownsville, a big tackle. Burgettstown cannot score here. Remember that tackle by Trayvon Brown.
3:46 to go in the fourth quarter. McLaughlin in pistol. We'll hand off to LaRocca. LaRocca was tripped up. Now he'll be stopped after about a 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
So we'll just try now to move it out. Now LaRocca here, trying to mix it up here and do anything they can to just run the clock out, and they're in good spot right here. Even a field goal, if they can try to get a field goal, any points will work and put this game away.
3:10 left now in the fourth quarter. McLaughlin hands off to LaRocca again. LaRocca going up the middle, gets stopped at the 10-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 6, it looks like. And Burgettstown, you know, do you settle for the field goal? Because even then you would be up 10-0. LaRocca looks a little gimpy.
I can see that brace on his knee, so that he does not look too good. This is big because he's had a very steady game, and it looks like he can't even put pressure on his left leg there. So this is going to be a big loss. So next man up here for Burgettstown here on 3rd and 6 with 2:49 left. But it goes without question. That Trayvon Brown tackle saving the touchdown on Lounder. Right now, that could be a big factor if Brownsville, again, can stop Burgettstown here from any points. But now they're closer for a field goal opportunity than they were the last time when they missed.
And we've seen, you know, field goals blocked here before. Last year, even when our game was live on PCN, Darien and Brownsville. 3rd and 6, McLaughlin in shotgun. McLaughlin gonna keep it himself. He won't get there. He gains maybe a yard on that play, so he'll bring up 4th and 5. 2.5 minutes to go.
Now the question is, do you go for it, or do they try the field goal again? Because they have Brownsville backed up really deep, and they're gonna have about 2 minutes or so. This Brownsville really doesn't have enough time to...
I'm surprised Brownsville's not taking a timeout.
Yeah, well, unless Coach House is trying to save it, but yeah, Burgettstown is gonna go for it here. And this is it right here. Brownsville, if they can stop them, but they're gonna be backed up, and they don't have the offense really to move quick. This is probably why
Trayvon Brown, though, he looks like he's ready to bust one open all the way downfield, though, so let's see. And there's gonna be a stoppage here. Timeout taken by Burgettstown. That helps Brownsville.
That does, because I don't know if Burgettstown was ready for it. I could see McLaughlin running the hard count there, trying to get Brownsville to go off sides. That wasn't successful.
Ryder's coming in, it looks like, to take the field goal. He's talking to the head coach right now, Mark Druga.
This could be, like I said, this could be any points at all could be the deciding point in this game, because with 10 points, Brownsville would need 2 scores in a matter of 151. They would need to pull a miracle out of their hat like Burgettstown did last week. And last week, Burgettstown was down 13-0 to Derry at halftime, and they rallied. And again, it was just, I mean,
ever since then,
really, yeah,
they have basically outscored their opponents 21-14 en route to a possible playoff berth. If they get this field goal here, they are a minute 51 away from being back in the playoffs since 2009. Ryder will attempt the field goal. It's going to be about a 27-yard attempt. His first one missed wide left from about 38 yards. Snap, down, kick up, and it's good. Ryder puts it through, and it looks like Burgettstown very much on their way to the playoffs again.
Yeah, that was really close, but now the right leg of Reed Ryder could put Burgettstown back in the playoffs for the first time since 2009.
So we will take a break, and when we come back, the conclusion of Brownsville and Burgettstown here on CUTV.
Catch all the excitement under the Friday Night Lights with CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week. You have the best seats in the house as the area's longest-running high school football telecast now in its 29th season, brings you the area's biggest games. Don't forget to watch the replay on CUTV, Sundays at 8 and Thursdays at 5:30.
And we are back here on CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week. The regular season finale, BURGETTSTOWN up 10-0 with 1:47 to go. And that 1:47 is all that separates BURGETTSTOWN from the playoffs. And we'll look at that field goal again after this kickoff. Because it looked like, Matt, we even talked about this during the commercial break. It looked like that field goal was going to miss at some point, but it just happened to fall in. Now the kick here from Ryder, a little squib kick. Brownsville will field it. Let's see what they can do with it. Trying to get the outside, now back up the middle. That's Michaud. He's got some room. Oh my God, he's still going. He's not giving up yet.
Wow.
To the 47-yard line, Brownsville has a fighting chance. But let's look at this field goal again, Matt. And, you know, Ryder did pull this one to the left, it looked like. We'll see it again here.
And you can see.
It looks like it barely got in.
You know what? That might have missed there at the left side. That is so close. But I thought for a second that might have gone wide left there. So we'll never know.
From my vantage point, and I might have had a little bit of a better vantage point than you had because I'm looking a little bit more of an angle. I thought it went in, but I thought it was going to come up short, if anything.
Too.
Now Grooms in shotgun, 4 receivers. He'll run up. Now he's going to be sacked. And BURGETTSTOWN, let's see, they're going to mark Grooms down. The ball came out, but they're going to mark Grooms down. If they had gotten that fumble, it would all but been over. 1:20 to go in the game.
And that play's been the story of Brownsville's night. They finally, Grooms trying to pass, but he has no time. Almost ran into his own guy. But Bonacci there, who's been the best player on defense for BURGETTSTOWN with the sack there. And it's only a matter of time. BURGETTSTOWN, they can smell the playoffs. They're so close. What a season for the Blue Devils, and they just have to make a couple more stops, and they're under a minute to go.
BURGETTSTOWN on the brink here on Brownsville senior night. Grooms gets the snap, high snap. He's going to step up. Now he's trying to run out of pressure. He's going to run it out of bounds at about the 43, 44. It's actually going to give him a 1-yard gain, so it'll be 3rd and 13 now for Brownsville. And this one's all but over with only 41 seconds left.
He just has no time. He has no time and had to work with his legs there for you. 41 seconds left, but Brownsville, the clock's running down on him. But what an effort. You can't go out with this effort.
You really have to give them credit for holding BURGETTSTOWN to 10 points.
They played hard. They played extremely hard. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a bold prediction here that Brownsville, within 2-3 years, they'll have a winning season.
I can definitely concur with that. I think they get back to the playoffs in the next few years. They have some talent coming up, I think, and that we're going to see. Well, you and I may not see it, but we'll see as a collective group here at CUTV in the next few years as we get a penalty now called. Looks like it's going against Brownsville. Could be a false start.
It's all just falling apart here for the Falcons.
So that'll make it 3rd and 18 with 40 seconds to go. Grooms talking with Coach Jason House. Marcellus Grooms, this is his final game as a Falcon, but he's led this team to 2 wins this year.
He did.
And that's something Brownsville can't say that they've had in quite a while, so very good season for them.
Because they had their first conference win in a couple of years, because they did get a win last year. It was a game after, like during the first week of playoffs, where they kind of played another team. It was Freedom.
And the year before, Washington had some wins vacated that only counted for Brownsville. But then they were given back, so it didn't really matter. Now Grooms to throw. He goes downfield. There's no one there, and it's incomplete at the 41-yard line. 35 seconds left. 4th and 18. You would imagine Brownsville has to go for it, but after that, BURGETTSTOWN can just take a knee and take that knee into the playoffs.
That's, I mean, you talk about any classification. What a story BURGETTSTOWN is. 1 win last year, and now they're looking at the playoffs. And a story that you can see a lot of BURGETTSTOWN fans traveled out here to come here to Redstone Field, and they put on a great show for their fans. What a defensive stand that the Blue Devils has had right here, and now they're going to drop a lot of guys back here. I'd say 8 guys back here.
Now Grooms gets the snap. It's going to be a screen to Trayvon Brown. He's got some room, but he'll be taken down at the original line of scrimmage. And BURGETTSTOWN, with 28.5 seconds left, they're going back to the playoffs.
And Jared John, the guy with the miracle catch a week ago, makes the final tackle on Trayvon Brown, who, hey, Trayvon Brown, what a warrior he is. He put on a show, but I can hear the BURGETTSTOWN band and the stands. They're excited. They're first time since 2009. And I mentioned this game earlier, Zach. Cal Gannon, again, this is basically an elimination game for the NCAA playoffs, because Gannon in the regional rankings and Cal looking for that signature win on the road.
McLaughlin takes a knee, and we'll see if they have to run one more play or not. They might have to. We'll see in a second. They indeed will. And actually, no, they won't. They're going to send the team out. BURGETTSTOWN in the playoffs for the first time since 2009, as we are under 10 seconds left. And Matt, have to say, unfortunately, this is the last high school game you and I are ever going to call. And man, was it a good one. Not only us, but Damon Matson, who was on crew tonight. This is his last high school game of the week. And partner, it's been fun. You're gonna miss it.
And it was great to see our final game. A team battered for the past couple years back in the playoffs, and a great story. Good luck to BURGETTSTOWN. And like I said, Brownsville, your time soon. You gotta keep going. Coach House is the right coach for that team.
High school football game of the week may have concluded, but high school roundup will keep going on through the playoffs. We'll be on there for the next few weeks. BURGETTSTOWN back in the playoffs since 2009 for the first time. 10-0 win. You see there again in California tomorrow on CUTV. For Matt Hagee, Damon Madsen, myself, Zach Prowse with the seniors, and the rest of the crew, thank you for tuning in to CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week all season long, and we'll have more in our 30th season in 2016. Enjoy, everybody.